वेलकम टू द कॉन्सेप्ट्स ऑफ जूलॉजी। तो आज हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं बेसिक थ्योरीज ऑफ इवोल्यूशन, जो आपका एनईपी सेमेस्टर 6 का सिलेबस है जूलॉजी का। अंडर दैट वी हैव ए पेपर इवोल्यूशनरी बायोलॉजी, उसका यूनिट 1 बेसिक थ्योरीज ऑफ इवोल्यूशन। व्हाट इज इवोल्यूशन? Evolution is the change in the characteristic of a species over several generations. There are multiple definitions of evolution. We can accept anyone. We can define evolution as descent with modification from a common ancestor. Or another definition is changes in life form by gradual modification through successive generations over million of years. Another definition, changes in life form to adapt the changing environment is called evolution. So you can write any one definition of evolution. Next, there is term gradualism versus punctuated equilibrium. तो इसका जो डिफरेंस है ये आपका प्रीवियस एग्जाम में आ भी चुका है. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ग्रेजुअलिज्म एंड पंक्चुएटेड इक्विलिब्रियम? Since we talked about the time involved in the process of evolution, so that is, this concept is based upon the time required and through which way, means slow or fast. On that basis we categorize gradualism and punctuated equilibrium. According to gradualism, this theory suggests that evolution occurs slowly and gradually, with small changes accumulating over generations. Means in each generation there is a small change and that is accumulated. At further successive generations, another changes which again accumulated. The result is that each generation is slightly better adapted to its environment than the previous one. So that is gradualism. Second is punctuated equilibrium. This theory suggests that evolution occurs in spurts with long periods of stability interrupted by short periods of rapid change. Means in punctuated equilibrium you will see a short period of rapid change. There is changes in punctuated equilibrium, but changes are very fast for very short duration. But in gradualism there is very gradual and slow process. So we can explain it through the diagram also. You can see through this diagram. So one species is changing into another through the gradual changes. In second, there is punctuated equilibrium, means there is rapid change, stable for long time, and there is rapid change to another form. So that is punctuated equilibrium model. So you can also explain through the diagram. This is again explanation through diagrammatic mode. One is your gradualism, theory of gradualism, species 1, 2 and 3 through the gradual and slow changes. In punctuated equilibrium there is very fast change. You can see spurt this, and again there is rapid change. So we can see rapid change of short duration in punctuated equilibrium. George Cuvier is known as the founding father of paleontology, and Charles Darwin is known as the father of evolutionary biology. Theories of evolution. We can divide theories of evolution into ancient theories, pre-modern theories, and modern theories. Lots of the theories given by ancient philosophers, like theory of spatial creation, aquatic origin of life by Thales, theory of abiogenesis. Then we have pre-modern theories, pre-formation theory, biogenesis, and modern theories which we will study in detail. Lamarck's theory, theory of catastrophism, theory of eternity of life, theory of uniformitarianism, theory of natural selection, Weismann's theory of germplasm, theory of mutation, neo Darwinism. Philosophical thoughts of evolution. So, first philosophical thought, theory of spatial creation. Father Sorage described this theory. This theory says that all living organisms were created by God. God created the first man, Adam. Father Soares was a strong believer, supporter of the theory of special creation. He believed that whole life on earth was formed in 6 days. So this was your philosophical idea at that time. Now we begin our original discussion, that is modern theories of evolution, Lamarckism. French naturalist Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. The crucial work was his Philosophie zoologique, in which he argued that species change over time into new species. The way in which he thought species changed was importantly different from Darwin's and our modern idea of evolution. Historians prefer the contemporary word transformism. So, this is a new word in Lamarckism. In our basic classes, we have not seen this word, that is transformism. To describe Lamarck's idea, Lamarck supposed that lineages of species persisted indefinitely, changing from one form into another. Lineages in his system did not branch and did not go extinct. So, according to Lamarck, lineages of species persisted indefinitely, means for very long time. They are changing from one form to another, and lineages in this system did not branch. So, you cannot see the branches. As in case of Darwin, we have seen through the branches, and did not go extinct in Lamarck. The four postulates of Lamarckism are use and disuse of organs, means organism develop organs that are used frequently and lose characteristic that are not used. For example, a giraffe's neck enlarges because it stretches to eat leaves. Second is inheritance of acquired character. Characteristics acquired during an organism's lifetime are passed on to its offspring. So, inheritance of acquired character is the major postulate of Lamarck's theory. Use and disuse, rest of others are also important, but inheritance of acquired characters is known very well. Organisms driven to greater complexity. Organisms become more complex as they adapt to their surroundings. Effect of environment and new needs. The environment influences all organisms. So, needs is the reason for which organisms use their organs, and those organs for which there is more needs, they develop well. Lamarck had two-part explanation of why species change. The principal mechanism was an internal force. So there very important term, internal force, is some sort of unknown mechanism within an organism causing it to produce offspring slightly different from itself. So the reason is internal force, such that when the changes had accumulated over many generations, the lineage would be visibly transformed. After many generations, accumulation of changes lead to transformed individual visibility, or we can say new species. Lamarck's second mechanism is the one he is now remembered for, the inheritance of acquired characters. As an organism develops, it acquires many individual characters in this biological sense due to its particular history of accident, disease, and muscular exercise. Lamarck suggested that a species could be transformed if these individually acquired modifications were inherited by the individual's offspring. So this is suggestion by Lamarck that a species could be transformed if these individually acquired modifications were inherited. But nowadays it is not correct. Only those characters are inherited which leads to change at their genetic level, but not at the morphological level. Morphologically acquired characters are not inherited. This is giraffe long neck. In his famous discussion of the giraffe's neck, he argued that ancestral giraffes had stretched to reach leaves higher up trees. The exertion caused their necks to grow slightly longer. Their longer necks were inherited by their offspring. So, this is the main postulate. Their longer neck were inherited by their offspring. But nowadays it is not correct. But at that time, this was the postulate of Lamarck, who thus started life with a propensity to grow even longer neck than their parent. After many generations of neck stretching, the result was what we can now see. So Lamarck described the process as being driven by striving of the giraffe, and he often described animals as wishing or willing. Basically, willpower is responsible for the evolution. That was the concept of Lamarck. So Lamarckian transformism. So what is Lamarckian transformism? Which differs in two crucial respects from evolution as Darwin imagined it. In case of Darwin's model, we can see there is evolution is tree like. Lineages is split. We can see the different lineages. There is a split tree like, more branching. But in case of Lamarckian transformism point of view, there is progressive change in individual without branching. So this is the difference between the Darwinian concept and Lamarckism concept. Evidences in support of Lamarck: giraffe neck, snakes evolved from limbed ancestors to limbless snakes with long bodies by reducing their limbs over time. Aquatic birds, duck, geese, and other aquatic birds developed webbed toes, feet, and reduced wings from their terrestrial ancestors. Moles have reduced eyes because they live underground and don't use their eyes much. So again, so this is according to use and disuse principle. Criticism of Lamarck: lack of evidence. There is no scientific evidence that acquired traits can be inherited. No scientific evidence. For example, if someone builds muscle through exercise, their children will not inherit those muscles. One example. Genetic understanding. Modern genetics show that traits are passed through genes, not through acquired characteristics. Mendel's law of inheritance. Weismann's germplasm theory. Weismann was a scientist. He conducted experiments through several generations by cutting the tail of rat, and he found that there is no inheritance of cut tail in their next generation. So August Weismann theory of germplasm states that hereditary material is confined to the gonads and gametes and is unaffected by the experience. This created an invisible barrier to Lamarckian inheritance from the body to the next generation. So we can understand it through the diagram. Disapproved the Lamarck's theory inheritance of acquired character. We can see cut tails and mate. He repeated this for 22 generations, but the offspring still had a long tail. Even after cutting the tail of the parents, there is the next generation with tail again. So we cannot say that acquired characters are inherited. So Weismann rejected the Lamarck's idea of inheritance of acquired character. So this is all about your unit 1 Lamarckism. For next topic, Darwinism, Neo-Darwinism will be uploaded shortly.